Good day, everybody. It's Tim Helston from Winnipeg, yet again, with another edition of stuff I'm adding to my bike. Anyway, I'll show you that in a second. So I'm adding, or I have added, or I've used, or I use a two cameras on my bike. I have a Drift HD camera, and I like the Drift because I can actually 3D print these mounts, which are like $10 a mount. I can 3D print them myself on one of my 3D printers. I have 3 or 4 different 3D printers down in the basement, and I can 3D print mounts and things like that for them. But anyway, I digress. So they just slap in there. So I have one forward facing and I have one rear facing camera. And then I have the option, if I want to, on my helmet to mount another camera. And I have a third camera. And all these cameras can be controlled by the remote control that's on the helmet. So it basically allows you to start recording and stop recording with the helmet cam. So now I mounted them in the center. I know some people will say, oh, it's just going to shake. And yeah, it might. I can live with the shake. The reason why I don't want to mount them on the side and I don't want to mount them on the actual bike itself. This is pristine. This is really nice, shiny. I don't want to bugger it up. This is fine. I don't really mind putting stuff on there, and if I have to peel them off, they just come off. You just pull them hard enough, and they'll pop off. But I like to have them in the center because it provides the most wide field of view. The reason why I chose the Drift camera is because basically you can mount them like this, like that. You can mount them on any side of a helmet. So on the right side of a helmet, on the left side of a helmet, or flat. Just by basically orienting the lens piece. So you just see there's a little indentation or a little button thing here, a little blob. That tells you that basically this is now right side up. If I was to turn it this way, now this is right side up. So this would be for a left mounted head camera or helmet camera. The blob is here, and it basically tells you that you could record this way. If I was to record this way, the images would be all sideways. So that's why I picked these cameras. I have multiple batteries. The cameras are waterproof. They take a lithium ion battery, which I don't have one on me right now. It's in the house. But there you go. So that just basically slides in there. And it's a micro SD card. And the camera will roll for hours and hours of recording fun. The microphones on them, they're okay. They're not the best, but they're okay. They get sound. But I mean, all you're going to hear while I'm riding is wind and stuff. If I'm going to do any talking and things like that, I'll use my phone, and then basically I have video software that I could basically take these two cameras, splice the video together so you get a split view, and then take an audio track off my phone or a GoPro. I also have a GoPro or whatever. I have a couple other helmet cameras. I just like these because they sit this way. Anyway, that's it for the cameras. So I mounted them in the center because they get the best field of view. Plus, I want motorists to see them. So it's not a thing of hiding the cameras. If I was going to hide the cameras, I would put them inside the bike. I want people to see them. I find people act a lot different when they realize that they're being recorded. They don't act as much of jerks. And they don't tend to cut you off. They don't tend to do stupid things around you. They actually tend to use their signals. Anyway, they tend to be less dicks when you're recording them. Because in Canada here, theoretically, if somebody did something stupid, I could take this video to the police and show it to them, and they could deal with it. They could do something. So that's what I do. I record every time I get in the bike. I do not ever not record. Same thing over here. My scooter, this is my electric bicycle scooter. It's a Motorino. I have on my helmet, my motorcycle helmet, I have my other helmet camera here. And as I said, it's meant for people to see it. I want it to be out there. I might actually get little, you can get little rubber casings. These are encased in rubber, but I might get another little rubber casing, a bright orange one or a bright yellow one. I want people to see the cameras. I want people to know they're on video and don't be a dick. That's what I want. So if I were you guys, if you're going to use helmet cameras or GoPros or whatever, make sure people can see them. Don't just stick them on your helmet and record inside the bike. Stick them outside the bike. Let people see them. You'll probably see you'll get different results. Since I've been doing this, I've noticed that people don't, when I'm riding my other scooter that you just saw, I noticed that people don't cut me off as much. Now, noting when I ride, whether I ride the Pebble, whether I ride my road bike, or whether I ride my scooter over there, my electric bike, the scooter, I take my lane. I don't ride a foot from the curb. I don't ride 6 inches from the curb. I take a lane. So I treat myself, if I'm riding that scooter, I treat myself like I'm riding a gas scooter. I ride right in the middle of the lane. So if I'm, say for example, I'll use my PT Cruiser, my wife's PT Cruiser here. If I'm driving behind a bike, behind this car, I'll, instead of being like here, where like I'm off to the side, right next to the curb, I actually will be right here in about the center of your vehicle or close to one of your wheel wells, like where the wheels are traveling. I'll be here, or I'll even be out here to the right or to the left of the car, the driver's side of the car. That's where I drive. And if people don't like it, too bad. You have to give me my lane that way. And basically, to me, there's nothing better when you're riding a bike, a bicycle, electric bike, Pebble, Elf, whatever you want to ride. When you're riding a vehicle, there's nothing better than getting noticed and being predictable. So I know some states and some Canadian provinces, the police say you should ride, and our laws in Canada here say you're supposed to ride as close as practicable. That's the actual word they use, practicable, in the Canadian Traffic Act, the Highway Traffic Act, HWT, or HTA, or whatever it is, Highway Traffic Act. They say drive as close as practicable to the right-hand curb. Now, that definition, practicable, is open for interpretation. So my interpretation is be predictable. Don't ride on that lane, and then if there's parked cars, stay behind the parked car and then weave out, weave back in, weave out, weave back in. I've actually driven my scooter, my electric scooter, this one here, on the street in the second lane, like on a 4-lane street or a 3-lane street. I've actually driven it on the second lane. Never mind the bike lane. I've actually driven it in the second lane, been passed by lots of police cars. They don't seem to care. The bonus with that is, I don't have to stop behind parked cars and then wait to be let in. And I don't have to, and I'm predictable. I'm not weaving in and out of traffic, and cars get used to me doing that. And when they pass me, and then they're gone and I don't ever see them again. But anyway, so that's why I do mount the cameras in the center so they're visible. I want them visible. I want people to know they're being recorded, and that's it. So that's the cameras. Next, I'm going to review the last little piece of the puzzle here, which is my alarm system. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.